Welcome to my show. I'm your host Ferdinand, and today we're going to discuss the job center. Now, the job center has a new feature to it, a new body to it, and it's called the universal credit. I think it's called universal. What do you call it? The universal job site. Yeah, the universal credit, something like that. Yeah. Now, I just want to break it down a little bit today. Um, and the reason why I'm going to break it down is because most people don't understand what's happening to the system that it should be there to help the people. It's designed to help the people. Okay, you pay all your taxes, all your life you work and you pay your taxes. And at some point or another, we will definitely be using the system. Okay, it's either when you're young and you're unable to work, you're a teenager, and you just you have to rely on the system until you such a age you get into work, or or you just lose your job and you just happen to be needing this service right now. And so, of course, we pay all our taxes to get this service, and it is very important that people are able to access this service. Very, very important. People are able to access this service. Okay. Now, what is the job center for? Is it a bank or is it there to help the people? Okay. That is the main focus of our question today. Is it a bank? I will run through various scenarios in a minute, but let me give you a little background as well. Now, the universal credit was meant to. It is 6 years behind. 6 years behind. Now, it was in August 2014, somewhere around about there, 13, 14, or 15. The concept was, and then it was this conception, and of course, Mr. Cameron and Chancellor Osborne and all the others that were there at the time. They, of course, have this ingenious idea to create this new system that'll make everything easier and more efficient. Now, I know based upon I can attest based upon what I know about it that idea that was initially conceived was a flawed one, and not only it was deliberately flawed. Deliberately. Nothing ever that they come and tell you is ever to the advantage of the people. It's always to the disadvantage of the people. It was projected to cost by the Department for Work and Pension, one of them other department, 2.2 billion. That's always the estimation. So I see some projected figures out there of 15 billion or more pounds. 50. If you go to a shop and you see something, an item for £2, 20 pence, and all of a sudden the shopkeeper brings the item and come and say, no, it's going to cost you £15. That's 5-6 times the original amount. Now, that is in itself tells you everything. It's either a deliberate treachery. Now, they will say they have all kind of overheads and they didn't know the weather was going to be so bad, and yes, they never know anything. And so the bill goes up and up every time. But I guarantee you, if they were paying it out of their pockets, they would be putting hands and feet together and make sure that that project doesn't go over budget, because they have to pay it out of their pockets. They'll do everything. But it's not coming out of their pockets, and they really don't care, because it's the people who's paying for it, and besides, they get a little more in it for themselves. More work, more delay, more work, more money. None of these projects will ever go on time or to plan. Now, not straying too far from the argument, from the discussion here. So what is it for? Is it a bank? Or is it there to provide much meaningful help to the people? Now, wherever they roll out this 6 years late, over 15 projected figures of $15 billion overspent, 11 to 12 billion dollars over budget. Wherever they roll out this new universal tax credit system, the rate of the food bank increasing that year up to 30% or more. 30% food banks increasing in any of those areas they roll out universal tax credit. And you have up to 60%, right? Up to 60% of people that apply for this credit needs an advance payment. 60% of people that applies for the tax credit needs an advance payment. 60% of them. And rightfully so, because the reason why people apply to get this much needed help is because they need it now. They don't need it 5 weeks time. They need it now. And that is why they apply for this universal tax credit thing, or they go to the job center and sign up. Now, the other function of the job center, it seems to be, is to take all your information from you and give you nothing back. But whatever else is there for. You go down to the job center there, and it's an absolute waste of time. All they do is to take your details from you and put it in the system and say, all right, we'll see you next week. What else have they ever given you? Any practical, have they ever given you a job? Is there any purpose for that place? More than tell you come back 2 weeks time with your job search. I didn't have to go back to search for jobs or to tell you that I'm searching for jobs. I don't have to go there. That place is absolutely useless. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. You don't have to go. Most of the 99% of those people who get job never get it because the job center provide a job for them or giving them any, say to them, look, there's a job there, go get it. Any job they're going to tell you there's a job there, go get it. It's a minimum wage job that these businesses are hunting for people who can go and slave for them, slave for them in some minimum wage job who can't even, not even Papa's dole. That is the kind of job they're telling you have to apply for any job. Even the ones that can't even make ends meet. That's if we say you have to do that one, and then we can top it up. All they're good for now is to top you up. Topping up. So all the people is wriggled down to topping up. Handouts. Food bank. So the question is, the other purpose of the job center, as I say, it seems to take all your information and give you nothing for it. But we'll go into that in a minute. Now, as I say, up to 60% of people need this advance payment. This whole project is 6 years overrun, 6 years late, and billions of pounds over budget. Okay. Now, who's getting all those billions extra? Nobody knows. Why it took so long? Nobody knows. And it's only a computer system with a couple of software they have to chuck into the thing and get the thing all connected. And it takes so much money and so much time. And finally, when it's delivered to us on a platter, like a head, it doesn't work. It fails. Now, the old system of crisis loans, you used to go there and say, look, now, the bit that works, they get rid of it. The bit that could give some practical help to the people, they got rid of. The bit that doesn't work, that's the bit they kept. See, the old crisis loan bit, you used to be able to go into the shop, the job center, and the job center would refer you next door and say, all right, well, you say to me you ain't got the money to buy your food, and at least some of them, I've witnessed that myself. I can attest to that myself. And I say, all right, you ain't got the money to buy food, you're out of money for whatever reason, maybe you lose your job and so on and so forth. You go down there and you say to the man, or the woman, this is a situation, and say, all right, if I don't give you this money today, what will happen? Well, I'll go hungry and I'll sleep on that park bench still. Or I'll do that tonight again. And they say to you, all right, here we're going to do. We're going to give you some money in your pocket to buy some food, tie you over for a week or two. And we're going to clear up that rent that you had in arrears. And you don't have to sleep on the park bench anymore. And you can go and look your landlord in the eyes and say to him, what? I've paid you, didn't I? I've worked and paid my taxes, and my taxes is helping me now, huh? So, is there anything else, Mr. Landlord? In some cases, slumlord? Is there anything else you have to say to me, sir? I have nothing else to say to you, sir. Money's in your kitty, and could have a good night. I need some rest now. Okay? Now, that is how it used to work. At least I can attest to that. I've benefited from the system myself. I've paid a lot in. I've been working all my life, paying my taxes. Now, that is the part of the system they stop. They stop that part of the system because it works. The bit that doesn't work, that's the bit they keep. Like this bit we have now, the universal credit. 6 years late and billions of pounds over budget. Who's getting those billions extra? Nobody knows. Now, the new system is structured in a way to give you nothing. You will get nothing from this new system. And I'll tell you why. They only employ a certain mindset. Only a certain mindset is employed in these institutions, all of them. 99%, if not all of these institutions, they only employ a certain mindset. I'll tell you what mindset they do employ in all of this. Now, the mindset is the mindset is, if you have an interview with two people, most of these positions, like the hardship payment section, two people employed for that position, or interview for that position. The first person goes up, and the individual goes up and says, the question is asked: if somebody calls you up and say, I have no money for food, I'm sleeping on a park bench and I need some urgent help, what would you do? One, would you help that person straight away? Or, you know what, I'm going to leave you to answer. What would you do? The first interviewee gets up and says to the interviewer, okay, what I would do is to ask him, all right, fine, are you in arrears with your rent? Yes, sir, I'm 2 weeks behind, or 3 weeks behind. Okay. Have you got your landlord's number, somebody can contact to verify such a claim? Yes, sir, here's the number. Within 2 minutes, I could call up the landlord and I could verify whether this claim is through, and I could also check his bank account or statements or whatever, and to make sure that what he says adds up. If and when if I verify this and I'm satisfied, then I'll release the money, the much needed help for this individual, because that is what they pay their taxes for, and it's taxpayers' money, and they deserve to get the help. The people makes the system, and the system should work for the people. So I'll release the money. The next interviewee jumps up and says to the interviewer, answering the same question, well, I would not trust any of them because all of them are lies, and I would let him wait for the 5 weeks, and when the 5 weeks elapse or run out, then I will decide to make that phone call, or decide to see how we can proceed with it, if we can give him anything at all, because we don't trust them. I guarantee you that second one, with that obnoxious answer, that very, very, very ill-conceived, holding humanity with contempt, he's the one that will get the job. It's those type they put in these positions. I 100% believe that's what happens. It is those type they put in these positions. The ones that have such attitude towards their fellow man. The ones that the mentality, the ones that get up every day and think, oh, they can do harm to their fellow man, or they can do something unlawful to their fellow man. Never about how they can help humanity, or they can help their fellow man, particularly those in distress. They get up every day and think how they can do harm to their fellow man. A certain mindset that is so abominable and plague-like, it's not even funny. These are the type, in 90% of these organizations we have running today. Now, so let's run through a scenario here. Now, just for giggles and, sake of conversation, let's run through the scenario here. Now, you're going to work, and as I say, people, I don't want people to look down on people who claim from this system, because the system was set up by the people, for the people, with the people's money. All right, all our taxpayers' money, and we are due to be helped with this money, because we have put it into the kitty, and whenever we need it, we should be able to access it. It's like a bank account. What's the point of having a bank account that you've been savings, and you can't access it? What's the point we're paying our taxes, and you can't access it? It's not there to help you. What's the point of paying then, if you can't get any help from it? Okay? Now, so as I say, and let me make this very clear, there's some very, very good officers out there, and I think we have some of the best law enforcement in the world. We have some of the best politicians in the world, some of the best judges, some of the best officers, and it's a shame that we do have a lot of rotten eggs, some ranking individual, very rank of attitude and rank of their minds are absolutely corrupt. Those are the gun-ho type that gets up every day and think, oh, they can do harm to their fellow man. I never advocate violence. I never advocate anything I live my life lawfully. Yes, I've broken a lot of legal. I've done 100,000,001 illegal things, but unlawful stuff, no. I never seek to do anything unlawful. Lawful and legal is two very different things. I can be charged with 1,000,000 illegal stuff. Oh yes, I've driven bus lane, once or twice when I didn't realize that it was even a bus lane. I have parked and got ticket on my car. I do a lot of stuff that I don't know where Casper and his friends, Casper the ghost and his friends came from, and put it on my car and race off in the darkness. There's a lot of things that one could say they were illegal, but unlawful, no. If you want to know the difference between lawful and legal, go just check out my previous videos. I do a lot of videos regarding lawful, what is legal, and the common law, the superior law of the land, of this realm, this great land, England. It's not everywhere in the world you have common law. Most of the world now is statutory code world, like most of Europe. The Napoleonic code operates viciously in France. It's all a code world everywhere we're starting into, but God bless and God thank, and thank the Lord that we still live in a common law land. It's the superior law of this land. Now, so let's run through a scenario. So you're going to work, and you're pulled over by the police most of the time for no good reason. Anyway, they say that they need your license and registration, and you say to them, okay, well, I'm just going about my business, just going to work. Oh, well, under section 136, 163 on the Road Traffic Act, any person that's driving an automobile and is requested to provide their details by an officer in uniform, they must do so. Otherwise, they're committing an offense. And you're like, what's your name, sir? Oh, my name is Mr. Know Nothing. All right, Mr. Know Nothing, or Mr. Don't Know the Law. Mr. Don't Know the Law. I'm just going about my business, sir. What is it to you? Oh, no. If you're driving or not, because he keeps repeating himself, because it's either they tell him to say that, or he doesn't know what is lawful or what is, he doesn't know anything. So Mr. Knows Nothing will say, okay, all right, you're not answering me, and I'm not going to have that. You must show me your details, or I will pull you out of that car and beat you up. Commit all kind of battery and false imprisonment and assault and trespass and whatnot. And you're like, hold on. Where in that you didn't understand? I said, I'm just going about my business. What are you asking me for license for? No, that's it. I've appealed to your better judgment and you're not listening, so we're going to smash your glass and pull you out and possibly choke you to death. Who knows? People die in custody every day. Nobody knows what killed them. Now, I'm not saying every time it happens, so I'm going to be fair here. 90% of the time it does happen like that, where they assume and presume you're driving, right? And on that assumption that you're driving, then because they presume everybody they see on the road, or assume everybody they see on the road is driving, so you require a license. And on that basis, he's telling you that he is the law. And he's going to batter you if you don't give him what he wants. And you're trying to tell him that I'm not. I'm just going about my business. Anyway, he says it's your right to remain silent and you don't have to say anything, and anything you say or do will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand? And you're like, but you just say I shouldn't say anything. Like, I have the right not to say anything. What are you asking me a question for? Oh, but you're not answering me. But you just say I have the right to remain silent. Get out the vehicle. For what? Get out the vehicle. Here we go again. Am I going to be statistic 9 million? What? What if I don't get out? Am I going to become another stats on your book? My point is, for no good reason half the time. Most of the time, for no good reason, they pull you out of your car. Anyway, it so happened that you lose your job because you couldn't get to work and you have to go on the dole. As it was once called, the dole. I don't know if they still call it dole anymore, but I think we all understand what that means. The benefits. their job. So anyway, you apply for the job seekers. You call up the number if you can find it. When you do find a number, maybe hand it to you by a friend or something. You call up the number now and you realize that it's a whole 800 number, so you can't call it from your phone, otherwise it costs you arm and a leg. You can't pay the bill at the end of the month. Too much. Anyway, if you do get to call them, so it's costing you, so what should be readily available and accessible to the people, free of charge, is not. So your bank account or your savings account that you've been putting all your taxes, all your money into, you can't access it free because there's a charge to access it now. Your own money. Because you pay your taxes. You need to access the benefits from it. You call up the old 3 number, old 304 number, whatever number it is, and use up your minutes. It's still not free. It costs you somehow. You can't pay the bill at the end of the month and you're already broke. That's why you're asking for help. Or you're requesting or require them to help you. Not asking, requiring them to help you. Now, when you finally get through, it says to you, if you do it online, you're priority, you become priority customer. They always see you as a customer or client. Yeah. It's all we are. Numbers in a book, customers. Yeah. Now, you say, all right, you borrow your neighbor's computer and you say, all right, if I chuck all my details online, all my DigiScan and all my Retina scan and all my fingerprint and all everything else they want from me, my neighbor's name, my mother's maiden name, my father's fifth name, my dog, my first pet's name, the name of my street, how much I weigh when I was born, what name did I give myself, if any, you name it. Some impertinent question you could never believe. People, if you have any property overseas, what has it got to do with you? If I have property overseas, I work for that their property. What interest you got in my property overseas? Did you help me to work for it? What business of you to ask me what property I've got? Did you help me to work for it? So why are you? What interest of you in my property? Unless you want to steal it or trespass. Who's asking? And what right have you to ask me what is my name and where I'm going? Is it mine or yours? So what you're asking me my business for? Now, they want to know everything because they want to know everything about you. Now, you do give, so you put all the information is that they want from you, with the hope now you're rubbing your hand thinking, all right, I'm going to get some meaningful help now, I'm going to get some practical help, and I'll be able to pay my rent this week, and I'll be able to get some money to buy food, and so that I don't have to sleep on the park bench for the next 2 weeks. So after you put in all that information, then what happens? All right. So they give you a whole list now. So you say, all right, you see a whole list of, you have to do this. You have to commit to that. You have to commit to look for a job for the rest of your life. You have to commit to that. You did it, or for the, until you know, all the other commitments and requirements. And you must do this. And you must, all right, and we're going to sanction you. And if you don't do this, you're sanctioned for 2 years. And all the other threats and various threats, everything is threatening you, as if they want to discourage you from applying in the first place, for requiring the assistant in the first place. And finally, you go through all that threat and abuse and slander and all the other wickedness they throw at you. And finally, when you hit that submit button, you see another message come up. Well, you ain't gonna get nothing. But you ain't gonna get nothing until 5 weeks. And you say, all right, how can I get some money now? And you hit the advance payment button. And it says, no, can't help you. Well, we have to see what you got against you for the last 5 weeks, for the next 5 weeks. So we'll sit down and eat our donuts and watch Jeremy Kyle for 5 more weeks, until if and when we decide you're worthy of the little taxpayers' money you've been putting in to get anything back from it. 5 weeks it takes to give you anything. Now you say, all right, to hell with them. They're a wicked serpentine department that disenfranchise the people and rip off everybody. All right, fine, let them go to hell. Let them wait for 5 weeks. Fine, let them stay to eat it, don't get big and fat. So you look like some constipated, anal retented, some old piley. Anyway, forget about him, or whoever is there, or slobby old man. Forget about them. Now, let's call up the housing and see what they can do. They must be able to help us with the rent and some food. That's what we pay our taxes for. The same one that come put tickets on your car every day, send Casper the ghost. No, sorry, the necromancers. I don't think they were friendly ghosts at all, because they put the thing on your car and they race off in the darkness. By the time you come back, you see something on your car, some contract. You don't know what it is about, who put it there, the name of the person, where they come from. There's no address to send it back to. Half of them come like that now. You don't know who sent it or where to send it back to. There's no meeting of the minds, there's no agreement, there's no consent. You don't know what it is. All you see is something on your car and everybody's asking for money, and if you don't pay it, it's like the gun-ho attitude again. If you don't pay it, they send their hired thugs and muscle for hire around to come and terrorize you and take out your stuff out your house and seize your car and seize your property and garnish your paycheck. And if you're not careful about what is legal and what is lawful, you end up paying it. They don't know your rights, so you lose it and you lose all your property with it. Anyway, if you want to learn more about that, just watch my previous videos about what is lawful, what is legal, what is rights, what is property, and so on and so forth, and you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, just watch my previous videos. Now, so that's the kind of obstacle they throw in your way. You definitely can't get no practical or meaningful help. Okay? Now, so you call up the housing and you say, all right, so the housing has the obligation to help you. They must help you. Housing, call up housing, a council housing, and they have to help you. Well, they must. They should. That's how it should work. When you do get that number for the payment, what do you call it? The priority payment, hardship housing payment. They call it. It's a payment thing. Hardship. I can't remember the payment service. It's the one that helps you direct. Can't remember the name. It'll get back to me. When you do call up that number, you can't get them for like 2 days. Nobody will guarantee you once they see a new number comes up, you ain't never getting through. Nobody will answer that phone. They sit down there eating donuts and looking at the screen. They will not answer the phone. 2-3 days before they will answer that phone. I can attest to that myself. When they do answer the phone, as you remember I tell you about that type that they generally employ in these particular departments, anything that money is concerned, helping the people, giving practical help, you find that this one is there now. Ranking attitude. Oh, what's your concern, sir? Oh, well, you ain't got no money to buy food and sleeping on a park bench, or I'm 2-3 weeks behind on my rent. Oh, that's no emergency. What do you mean it's no emergency? My landlord is getting worried and the next day I'm going to get to the post is to leave. What do you mean it's no emergency? Oh, well, your landlord has to give you 52 days, or how many days they're telling you the landlord has to give you before they can throw you out. Now, do I want to go 52 days? By then it'll be too bad. Then he definitely wants me out. Is that what we're waiting for? Until he decides, enough with this man, 52 days has passed, now I can throw him out. You want to tell me I have to wait until the date part when he can apply for a court order to throw me out? That's when I should wait for? 52 days before he can. Is that what we're waiting for? Till he throws me out? Then you will help me? Is that what it is? Oh, no. It's just that you're not priority because there's lots of people here on the waiting list. And we have a backlog of hundreds of thousands of people waiting and you're not priority. Oh, so because I'm not, disabled, crippled, sick, blind, deaf, dumb, is that you call priority? Or is it the fact that I pay my taxes and I'm entitled to this form of assistance? What you call priority? And what does that have to do with me? If you need more people there, we pay it's £15 billion overrun, or over budget. 12 billion pound over budget, from 2.2 billion to 15. You're looking at more than 12 billion pound over budget. What do you mean you're still short staff? So where's all that 11, 12 billion pound? Whose pocket is it gone into now? That you're still short staff after 6 years late and 12 billion pound over budget. You still tell me that one, the system is failing, two, you have no staff? Oh yes, because we have a lot of applications and we can't process them, so we're processing them one by one. So what you've been doing with my application for the last 3 weeks? Sitting down looking at it, eating donuts, but you weren't processing it, or what? No, they don't. They don't, because the ones they employ in these departments has those attitudes I told you about the interview. It's the second one with that ranking attitude that holds everybody in contempt. That is the one that gets the job. And it's until you threaten him and tell him you're going to make a serious complaint about him, blow this out of all proportion, only then the next day or two you hear your application has been picked up and looked into. Only when you threaten to make an issue about this. Then they pick it up and look at it. And so my point is that the system is not designed to help at all. It's designed to fail. And miserably make your life hell. You see, all the taxes you pay, they don't want to give you anything. And the part of the system that used to work doesn't work. They don't like that part. They took it away. Got that, you could go down and you could get some money in your bank account. You could go to the post office and you can clear that money right away, get some food. And you don't have to sleeping on a park bench. Lots of youngsters are doing that. Lots of people I see sleeping on park benches on the side of the road. They could get the help. Now, I'm not saying there are people out there that don't abuse the system, and not abuse means to change something into something else. Not abuse, but there's a lot of people who take liberties with, to deliberately misuse the system. Let's put it that way. You do have people who they do their little bits and pieces on the side, whatever they're selling on the store, whatever they do on the side. There are lots of people who does it, and of course they go and they still claim. One could say, well, I'm doing something for myself. What one has to do with the other? I'm doing something for myself. What has it got to do with claiming? Now, some people look at that as, you're misusing the system. There are lots of people out there who don't want to work. And of course, those people ought to be looked into. You should make all reasonable attempt to get back into employment. I don't believe anybody should just willingly not want to work. Okay, I don't believe society will hold you any form of obligation if you willingly don't want to work. If you're looking for a job and you can't get it straight away, that's beside the point. That's another matter. But if you're not actively looking for employment and you're not willing to work, then I am not endorsing the idea, though, that people should just pick up any job. That is not on. That's bang out of order that you tell anybody to just go and work in some warehouse because that's all that's available right now. Why you think that's all that's available right now? Because it's deliberately designed to have you slave all your life for nothing. They're telling you that you must get this old pathetic wage that can't even make ends meet. Pay you enough to make ends meet. Who would want to be, most of the time you lose your job for no good reason. Maybe you're pulled over by the police and you lose your job. You didn't willingly walk out of your job or did something stupid or steal something and you lose your job. They caused you to lose your job. Most of the time it's not your fault why you lose your job. I've experienced, I can attest to that myself. Most of the time you lose your job, I've seen a lot of people lose their jobs. And it's not because of anything they did, it's because of what they didn't do. You see, and most people did know their rights and they didn't even stand up for themselves as well. They do lose their job. There's a number of reasons why people claim. You see, the point is that the system is failing, and it's failing largely because it was designed to do so, and that is a sad state of affairs. We have a very, very, very wicked system that is working against the people. Now, I know people's attention span is very short, so I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. Now, you go into the job center now. Let's deal with the job center now. You go into the job center. Now, what is it for? Now, you go into the job center and you're baffled. You're thinking, all right, I'm going to get some practical help here. So you walk in there, they book you an appointment to see Bob the Builder, Bob or John Rambo. And you walk in there to see poor old John down the bottom, Mr. Rambo down the bottom there. Now, at seat number 25. And you go down, you see John Rambo at seat number 25. You're looking at Rambo and Rambo looking at you. Now, both of you are wondering why you're there, because he ain't gonna give you no practical help. All he's having to tell you is, all he's ordered to tell you, or paid to tell you, is to give up all your details. Your mother's maiden name, your retina scan, your finger scan, your blood type. Every type they want from you. And know who your neighbor is and who all those people you don't know. You have to know them. We need their details. Now, when you give up all that details, you're looking at John Rambo, and John Rambo is looking back at you, and you still don't understand why you're there, because he's not helping you with anything practical. There's no meaningful help there. He's not exactly going to point you to a job. And even if he does, it's not going to be a good job. It's going to be some minimum £6, £7 an hour job. That's all you're going to get from him. So you're still, and you're applying online yourself at the house. So you're like, so why am I here? And John Rambo will tell you, well, you're here to prove that you're working. Well, couldn't I just do that online? I'm applying for all my jobs online. Couldn't I just send you some information with my job applications? Oh, yes, but we still need you down here. Well, why? Why do you want to waste my time? And who's going to pay my fare to come? Why you want to waste my time to come down here? For what? For you to take all my details and packages it up and sell it to some companies doing research and marketing and whatever. Everybody's making money off my head. Do you destroy the documents after I finish with this? Do you hand it back to me, which is rightfully mine, my information, my property? Do you give it back to me, or do you give it to your friends who is turn it into a financial instrument and making all kind of money off it? That is the problem we have. They don't give you back your documentation. They copy it and send it off to some other third-party company. That I believe 100%. Personally, I believe that's what happens. And then these companies do marketing and researching and whatnot. They'll take your information, that'll sell it to this company, sell it to that. So everybody's making money except you. With your own property, with your own information. Name, signature, and the rest. Retina scan and biometrics and blood type. Everybody have everything about you and you can't get nothing from no benefit. So you're baffled. John Rambo is baffled. You're both staring at each other, and he's well paid, so you don't really care how much you stared at him, because he has a job. He's been paid to stare at you, so you'll do it all day. But none of you can understand why you're there. Like, he understand why he's there, because he's getting paid for not offering you anything. All the job you will ever get is what you apply for online yourself. So you will have to help yourself getting a job. So you're wondering what the job center is there for, because they're not going to help you get a job, and they're not going to give you any money you're entitled to. They're going to tell you to call up this number and they will give you. So what is their job? Their job is just to tell you, give me all your information and call up this number. I don't need to go there for that. We don't need to pay for a building and hundreds of people there for that. Well, if you just get people in work and employment, fine. Pay people to do nothing. That's all this industry seems to be about now. Because you can't understand what's the purpose of it. No practical help they'll ever give you there. Any job you find it on your own. So what's the point of going there? And when you do find a job, by the time you get the last payout from your pay, they tell you you're not entitled to anything. Alright? But before you got your pay, for the whole 3 weeks or so you've been waiting on your pay, you didn't have any money, no food, you can't pay 3 weeks behind. By the time you get your little money, this is what the system is designed to do. You see, they work it out. 5 weeks we give them. Let's set up this new system where they don't get anything from it. So 5 weeks, by then they will get a job. By then they would have gotten their last pay. So by then they will get nothing from us. And even if they find a pathetic slave wage job that's not on sweatshops, that's not going to pay them anything, then we'll top it up for them and keep them sweet. Like that, They will never, ever, ever become anything. And if he does find a job that pays him a little more than we think he deserves, then he gets absolutely nothing at all. Because one, they're going to say your last pay cover the amount you should get. And the second thing is the job you have now is covering more than what you're entitled to get. So you will get nothing from the system. And that 5 week stretch is designed to do thus. It's designed to do that exactly. That is what the 5 weeks is for, because they work it out in their little corrupt minds. That little devil, that little goblin that sits down there and working it out in his head and giving it to the government. He is a serpentine, wicked, parasite, abominable plague. Those are the ones they get to work out how to cheat the common man out of everything. So for that 3 weeks that you didn't have any money, you will never get any help that you apply for. Because by then you get your last pay. After waiting 3 weeks, maybe you get you run out of money now. So before you get your last pay, you've been waiting for 3 weeks. You finally get your last pay. Then you have to put the 3 weeks arrears back, plus all the food money you've been borrowing from neighbors and all that back, and all the other bills that you've been running up back, mobile phone bills, this, that, going to work, interview, and spending all your money and travel and all that back. So you end up back with square one now, and you do get a job now, and when you're going to get your next pay, it's going to be more than what they would give you anyway, so you will get nothing. That's all it's about. The system is designed not to give you anything. So all the taxes you're paying, you will get nothing back. No practical help from the system. It's designed to do that. Unless the system fails you, where you end up with a little job that pays you £6 something an hour, £7 something an hour, and then you can't make ends meet because the 8 hours you get just not enough to cover all the money you have for the month's bill. The car payment, the little rent, and so on and so forth, if you're lucky enough. And then the little bit you're left with, it takes you 10 or 20 pounds over the amount they'll give you, so you get nothing. And if they give you 10, 20 pounds under, they top it up with the 20 pounds, so you only get 20 pounds from them. This is the system we have, and it's designed by some little goblin sitting down with their cohorts in some old dark places, consoling with demons, some necromancers. These are the type, dabbling in the occult and consoling with dark spirits. These are the little goblins they give the job to make sure that nobody benefits. You pay all your taxes, you put everything in, you get nothing out. That's the kind of system they create. And I'm just breaking it down. I'm just telling you exactly what it is because I've seen it myself and I see exactly what it does. Okay? So I just thought that I did happen to record an incident I had with one of my work coach or one of the person in the job center there that was dealing with my case. And I recorded a conversation I have with the individual, and I'm sure you'll have a look at it. It's one of my videos. I think I've named it Is the Job Center a Bank? Two, maybe I named that two, I think. If you go and check out some of my videos though, you'll see that the recording of that conversation I have with that individual. No, it wasn't John Rambo. It was another. It was another person. She was a nice lady. But unfortunately, she's working. She only has a job there to do what she's told, and the poor woman can do nothing else. My questions were somewhat harsh because I had to get to the bottom of this because I'm baffled and confused about what the system is about, and I see all these failings and it's upsetting me. So I, unfortunately, as a journalist myself, I had to ask the tough questions that nobody seems to be asking. Is it a bank? I said to the lady in the conversation, I'll give you a little snippets here. I said to the lady that, is it a bank? Yeah, she said, what do you mean? I said, well, the only thing I get from coming here or applying is a loan. So is it a bank? She said, oh, no, it's just that. I said, but I didn't get any other help. It's been over a month now, almost 5 weeks, and I haven't got any help from you. So is it a bank? And I won't get any help because my earnings will tip me over the scale that which you think I deserve anything to get back any of my tax-paying money. So is it a bank? Because the only thing I got from you was a loan. So is the job center operating in a business of lending money now? But if it's not, then why are they lending money? Why not just give me? Why not just say to me, all right, this is some of the money we can give you back from your tax paying. We can give you back some of this money to help yourself until you get back on your feet. Why lend me a loan when you could just give me the money as part of the credit that I'm entitled to for all the taxes I've been paying and we all been paying? Why you have to lend me a loan? Are you operating as a bank? Is it a bank? Oh, no, it's not a bank. Then what it is then? Because only bank lend loans. So you're lending the people back their own money in the form of loans. So is it a bank or what? Because I didn't get no help from here. The job I got and I applied for is what I applied for and I got. Nothing here helped me except you take my details and send it off to some third-party company to make money again. So what is it? Is it a bank? Because I'm baffled. I don't understand. So anyway, it was quite an interesting conversation. If you want to go and have a look at my one of the videos I have on my site there, I think it's also named Is the Job Center a Bank, and it's an audio and video recording of said conversation. So I hope that I've just trying to shed some light on this sad state of affair, this sad situation we have here. And I also asked her if my details were sent out to any third-party agency. If you want to go and listen to that conversation that I had, that recording, as I say, the title will be something to do with Job Center and the banks as well, okay? Maybe part 2 or something. So, yeah, so if you want to go and have a look at that, and as I say, I appreciate all your participation on the program. Any question you have to ask me, as I say, I do common law, as the sign clearly suggests. And of course, I would be glad to answer any of your questions. You can call me anytime on 0757-746-2704. Also have a website. If you go on our website, give it a look there. We have lots of information there, and I'm uploading new ones every day. It's www.commonlawsolution.org, and my email address is commonlawsolution@gmail.com. If you want to press that old WhatsApp microphone there and send me your voice message, I'll be happy to hear the conversation. I'll answer the question and I'll upload it on the website so that others can hear the questions, to the answers to the various questions asked. Okay, if you don't want your voice to be heard, let me know, I'll take it down. However, we do encourage people to let their voice be heard. Okay, and of course, no people can be free and ignorant at the same time. If you don't know your rights, you will lose it. And that is a fact. Okay, so I want to bid you all goodbye. God bless you all, and as I say, I appreciate, and don't forget to subscribe. And in order to subscribe, you have to log into your account and press that little subscription button. Also, send me a comment. Leave your comment in the comment section. And I hope I was able to shed some light on this very sad state of affairs. And for those who participate in the program, for all those who are just joining as well, I hope to see you in the next videos to come. And in the subsequent videos to come, I'll do, in court, at court, how to present yourself in court, at court, and how to operate in the legal world, and the difference between lawful and legal, and we'll go through all that. Also, if you find yourself in a sticky situation, maybe in custody, and don't know who to call to get some lawful information, as I say, you have two options, lawful and legal. You have to decide which one you want or which one is beneficial to you. You can give me a call, and I'll do my best to see if I can assist you in any way I can. You can call me any day, any time of day, or any time of night. Okay, I'm always willing to help. Okay. God bless you all, and the more of us we have doing learning our rights and our common law, is the more security and benefits we all have from learning what is lawful and what is legal, and we can all stand up for each other, and we can all be there for each other. No man is an island, and as the old saying go, as Bob Marley once says, that none but ourselves can free our minds. Okay, free your mind from mental slavery. Okay, only us, none but ourselves, can free our minds. Okay, God bless you all, and I hope to see you in the next programs. God bless you all. Have a good day now.